All right, guys, so we're down here in the desert because we've still got snow. We're actually going to be riding the Freeride and a bunch of other bikes. We got one of our test riders, who's our cousin Will. He hasn't ridden the Freeride yet, so we're going to see what he thinks about it. So stay tuned. It rained yesterday, so hopefully, or the day before, so hopefully it won't be too dusty. We'll have a little bit of moisture in the ground for us, so stay tuned.
To ride that.
Well, that's good because you're gonna ride it first.
It's like a mountain bike.
Yeah, it's like a mountain bike.
That's funny you say that.
You say that, but then you're gonna notice there's no rear brake, right?
Yeah.
244 pounds.
That's pretty light.
Okay, so we got Will here. Will, have you ever ridden a Freeride before?
I have not.
So yeah, Will's never ridden this bike. We really haven't told him much about it, so.
They haven't turned me out to turn it on yet.
Yeah, there's a key, actually. You have to turn it on with a key first. So we're gonna have Will test it. He's a better biker than us. He rides a lot of motocross, so it'll be interesting to see his take on the bike. So.
You up here?
Yep.
Just wait for the power on. You gotta flip this first. There it goes.
You got a power button right there.
Then the switch mode, you press this center button.
Yep. Should be on mode 3 when it turns on.
There you go.
Oh, yep.
About activate.
There you go.
Definitely different.
Yeah.
What's your initial thoughts?
There's no gears. It just goes. It's kind of interesting the way it just keeps picking up speed. Like you think you're gonna run out of RPMs, but it just keeps climbing.
Right.
But like the handling, it feels a lot like your regular dirt bike, but it's not as far as. You can feel the weight difference for sure. Like the center of gravity feels way different.
Right. When I'd ride it, I almost felt like it was kind of like the old two-strokes of old, where there was not really much, and then it's all in the power band up higher.
Yeah.
It's almost like the power of I'd say like a CRF 250X type power. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because it picks up, but it just doesn't have that initial punch. Like,
Yeah, it's not as snappy as like a 250R or something like that, or it's kind of where I would.
I think that was the
compare it
biggest thing I noticed is it's got power, but it just comes on slow.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's got turbo lag or traction control,
to. Right.
which can be good and bad. But I did notice, like, sometimes when you get in the air, it senses that tire spin, almost feels like it backs out a little.
Really?
You notice that?
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of time you'll come and you hit those little bumps, you kind of give it that gas to keep your momentum.
And it won't.
It kind of wants to, almost like it's got ABS or something.
Right.
But it's definitely fun. Be sweet, especially in the city, because you wouldn't get in trouble for noise.
Yeah, no one cares.
If you had, like,
everyone online's like, for a poaching bike, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You could do, because then it's fun enough that it's like, you could burn for an hour and then roll home. But
yeah, if you had like almost like a pit bike track in your backyard, would be phenomenal.
Super sweet.
What's up, guys? Sam with Backcountry Live. We're out here riding with
Will and Richard. Will's on a CRF 450R. He's my cousin. Been riding for longer than I have. I'm on the Freeride. Richard's on the 2020 EXC. I was wrecked around one of those corners because I went for the brake and I was like, oh, so I panicked and I grabbed and I was like, whoa!
Yeah, I did the same thing coming downhill.
Yeah.
Scooting and I was like, whoa, whoa, almost blew the turn.
Perfect.
Try it.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing, it's almost like you just float and wait and then you push it into that transition on that.
Really?
Yeah, because you like hold, and you
then
like
you
push
just
it
shove
down.
it right down into it. That's what it looks like to me.
So how are you hitting it? Just straight?
I just hit it straight.
Okay, I'll see if I can follow your line. That's so weird.
Does it feel a lot different to jump in?
Oh yeah, dude, like the suspension's so much different.
Yeah. It's cool to see the yeah, with the lighting and stuff. That one looks sick, dude.
That one had a pretty good pop. I think you just have to hold your speed.
You gotta
have the torque.
That's exactly what you did. So I'm literally on the gas the whole way.
Yeah. That's definitely a weird feel compared to that. Yeah, it's definitely a way different suspension feel.
Yeah, and it's super soft, so it's harder to, it soaks things up more, right?
Yeah.
You're not getting as much bounce and spring.
Yeah.
Full.
Yeah, like honestly, if I had 11 grand, there'd be one sitting in my garage right
Are you serious?
now. Yeah, like it's totally different, but it's like it's so much fun to just play around on. Like you're not scared of it at all. It's just,
Yeah, that's true. You're not scared of the power at all.
so,
But it has good enough that you can do some pretty rad stuff.
It's usable, like, you know, it's almost like a glorified pit bike for sure.
So if this was your bike, you'd probably put a little heavier springs in it.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely stiffen up the suspension, especially for someone that wants to kind of push it the way I or you do. And so, other than that, like, if you're just dinking around, beginner, the suspension's probably ideal. But like if you're trying to, I mean, we're trying to jump a wash with a stock electric trail bike, you know, so.
Right, it has a shortened, it's not even the full size like the XCW, these Explorer 48s. It's a shortened version of those. Yeah. So it's not even a full size suspended bike. Some of this jump stuff, it's actually super fun. It throws, you throw it around in the air pretty easy.
Like where I have kind of a little bit of a BMX background as well, it's like, it relates more that way, like, because my BMX bike and this, they're 100% different, you know, like,
yeah,
this is more motor suspension, where that's more like a bike, you pedal, like, it's all with your knees and feel and throttle control, you know.
Yeah,
and you almost use more speed, like you pump rather than trying to just power out,
motor through it. But so for like working on your technique, do you think it actually helps like with your technique, or is it kind of just different?
Like, because it's a different throttle control, but it's 100% feel rather than sound. Like, because I go off a lot of sound on these, and I can tell kind of where the bike is, where that almost teaches you a lot more throttle control feel, because you're not listening to the motor really wind up or anything like that. It's just a smooth power, and so it's all 100% up to you. Like I said, I wish I had a little more torque on the bottom end, but I mean, when you're just cruising, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, because like coming down this section, I would actually on my 250, on my two-stroke, I shift up to third, clutch it, rev it, then roll through the whole thing. Yeah. Where this one, there's no clutch, so you literally just, and it's everything you can to get it.
Whole transition, you just pump into it.
Yeah.
And then hold your speed. It's not like a blip of the throttle. It's just a smooth.
You have to have a whole smooth transition to get it.
Whereas if you did this with this, you'd be over the bars, you know.
Yeah. Right there. Richard, you say get Mark and set go, because you're going to be timing it.
Oh, I'm timing?
Yeah. Because I have my phone on me.
Ready, set, go. .92.
There's no way I can corner that fast on that thing.
Really?
Dude, that was like on rails, dude.
It looks like you're so comfortable on it.
It was like, there wasn't any like power chatter. It was just...
Yeah, it just would just hook up and you're instantly going, and your back end isn't swinging around and nothing.
It was like, this feels so much higher off the ground. But dude, no joke, it's so much more comfortable transitioning from that over to this for turning.
Really?
Huh.
Like, because that gives you way more confidence because it's not choppy.
Yeah.
And turning that down helped.
Right.
Because this one is so choppy.
Just on everything.
You're just... I can't even
hold on.
It's like bam, bam, bam. You can't just be smooth at the throttle. But... Alright, ready?
40.26. Let me show it to the camera. 40.26. So you're faster on your big bike.
Barely.
You know, it's interesting though that that result has happened, but the same thing that you said. That's why I wanted you to do it. You feel faster and smoother on the other bike, and you look faster and smoother.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, just my bike and your bike just has more of it. We just get a little bit faster on it.
Yeah. It honestly, like, I think I probably get to that top corner faster on that bike than I do on this one.
Yeah, because there's so many more corners, but then you have the long straightaway to be able to make up some.
Like, I'm sure I made up half a second just on that.
Yeah, there may be a lot of truth to that. But the thing is, like you said, for practicing, like, that's so fun and not intimidating, and it's smooth.
Like,
all you do is focus on your technique. I kept on like, I need to scoot up further, be further up in the tank, and then, you know, brake, roll, power, right? But
yeah, like, that was a huge lesson even for me. Like, I feel way more comfortable doing that same track, just going from that to this.
Interesting.
Because you get that feel of actually what the turn feels like. Like, you can feel it more on that bike than you can on these, because this is noise, vibration, different power. Where that, it's literally just feel the G of the turn.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, like, and that's the thing that I wonder with a big bike, an electric big bike, like if it really would help your skills.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, like those little 50 ones, those 50 size ones that KTM has. Like, they had the Deegan kids ride them.
Yeah.
And they're actually faster and more consistent on the electric bikes.
Yeah.
And so I could actually see if you were a pro, and those ones are pretty much on par with power to power. Like, they just are.
Yeah,
like
well,
this clearly, this to me is, like I said, like the power of a CRF 250X, the Freeride.
Yeah.
So that does a disservice in the long straightaway.
It'd be interesting to get a bike that was more on par with that and pit them against each other.
Yeah, like a CRF 250X.
Yeah.
And that would smoke it all day, I guarantee it.
Really?
As far as, like, the handling and, like, just especially if you did that same setup on this, I guarantee that thing would corner better than a 250X.
You know, and that's the interesting thing, because this feels like a mountain bike. Where if you ride a CRF 250X, it feels like a huge heavy bike and like a boring bike. I mean, they got power, but they're not light, nimble, or anything. Like, this will feel more nimble than they do, and so that's why this one still feels like your hero, because you're lower to the ground, so your center of gravity. It's a shorter wheelbase, plus with plush suspension and really good power. Even though it's well, I guess this CRF 250X is probably like almost 265 when you got gas and oil in it, maybe even more than that. Where this, literally, we weighed it 244 pounds.
Wow. And not only that, like, it's easy to be consistent like that because there's absolutely no, like, mechanical issues that change lap after lap, as far as, like, the carburetor, you know, like the way it powers. That every time you hit the throttle, it's the exact same every time.
Yeah, and you never kill the bike.
Yeah.
That, you know, because some of those corners where you're
I
rolling
almost
into
killed
them, you
it
have
the
to
first
clutch
time
it
I
at
went
the
out.
same
I
time.
almost killed it on this because I lugged it down too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, and for corner training, that thing is perfect.
Yeah. And for just ripping around, it's so fun. That's the downside, is like I wish that just the battery lasted longer.
Yeah.
We got to get Lacey out here to ride this bike.
I think it'll be awesome. Like, I think she'd actually enjoy it.
To try it.
Dude, that'd be so badass if Honda actually launches that one.
I hope they do.
They tease with. Like,
you know, they've been teasing
did you see
it.
the track footage on it? Of the guy riding the motocross track with it? It actually looks pretty legit. Like, he's clearing everything. It looks smooth. Like,
well, with electric motor, like, I guarantee you, if we could jailbreak that, I guarantee you we could get more power out of it. It would drain the battery
you
faster.
Get so like
yeah, you could get as much power as you wanted.
Like you say, if you had instant torque, you'd fall on your ass all day.
Yeah.
But if you could just fine tune it, it would be perfect. Like, because it just, especially on 3, you feel like that needs to have like a little bit more hit, you know?
Yeah, I feel
like it needs more and then it goes, you know, and like.
But then you run into the problem of you can't throttle that down at all without a clutch.
So in like technical
Right.
single track, that actually 3 is harder to ride in technical stuff than 2
Yeah.
because of that.
Now you could
Right.
throw on a clutch where you modulate
The
how much torque you're
torque
getting too.
which
Which-
like a mini torque converter.
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah.
right?
But then again, too, you could go. It all goes back to throttle control. You know, like you can just how far the throttle goes when you want that hit. You know, because you can have it creep on still,
Yeah.
but like if you go to a certain point, then it starts bringing full power faster.
Yeah, so you could do it that way too. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Just-
hard part is coming like for like enduro stuff. A lot of times I'm starting from stop to get over an obstacle.
Yeah.
You know, you're going through a really hard section, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I got a ledge to get up. Even with dumping it, I can't get in. It doesn't come on enough to get my front high enough. Where a clutch, I just am like, oh, what? And I'm up it, right? And then you keep going, same like log crossings, all those things.
Mhm.
If I'm really prepared, use all my technique to get up over it, and then I can do it.